Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 179. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
I am back, bitches. How's
Chris
it going?
Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo, yo.
And Brett Murdoch.
Hey, yo.
All right, Brian may show up. We don't know. And Adam said he's having problems with his kids. They don't want to go to sleep tonight.
Oh, shit.
You know
what book he needs to read? Go to fuck to sleep.
Yeah, right. Go to fuck to sleep. All right. I don't want to really waste any more time, people. We're going to be giving away a copy of God of War. Put a little asterisk on that. We'll tell you about that later. So let's pick this fucking winner already. Manny, randomizer. Let's go.
I'm going to vamp a little bit. I gotta.
Okay, so let's do the thing now. Okay, so Carlos and I found out something very interesting. The game is sold out on Amazon everywhere, apparently, because we want to give you guys a physical copy. That was the promise, right? Now we're going to give you a choice. We can either send you the physical, which will take a while. We can send you digital right away. Or, Carlos, what's the other alternative?
So we could either see if Amazon can ship it later, or we could try to get it to work with Best Buy. We might be able to order it on Best Buy, and you guys and whoever is a winner can pick it up there, or maybe they can deliver it on release date. I think they do release date shipping onto Best Buy, so we could try to do that. Just whenever you hear your name, let us know sort of like your shipping address and stuff, and what preference you'd like to receive your game at. Yeah,
Manny, I saw that thumbs up. Okay, so we're gonna pick a winner now. I don't have any sound effects here. What's up?
It's only the PS4 versions that are sold out, though. Have we checked on the Xbox and PC version?
What? Snap! All right, man.
Here we go.
And the winner is
Sergio Curiel.
Ooh!
I thought you were gonna say Hara.
Yeah, no, I was like, this nigga won again. I know, yo, that's fucking Egress, son.
Nice.
That's fucking Egress. That's crazy. The randomizer, man, the randomizer. You know, that's crazy. He's you guys can't see it here, but he's the motherfucker that drew that picture for me, the Star Wars picture. We met him at E3. Oh shit! And the good thing about Sergio is I could text this nigga. Perfect.
Sergio, congratulations.
Congrats, man.
On getting God of War. Which, just like the guy said, you have a choice as to whether you want to get a digital version or you can get a physical version that might take a little while to get to you.
Yeah, and Sergio, little surprise for you. Little surprise for you, man. I was talking to Reggie, Weapon X. He's going to toss in a little God of War statue for you too, buddy.
So you get a twofer for that one now. Yeah, you get the special edition and the game. Look at that.
Yeah, man. So I'm a Texas dude while we're talking and shit, you know. So yeah,
motherfucker got a statue?
Yeah, man. That shit is crazy. The randomizer, I love that shit. You know, I want to thank everybody obviously for entering the contest. A lot of you, really like started following us and all this other shit, which we really appreciate. And we will have definitely more contests for bigger games and even smaller games too. We want to just give some variety. But yeah, like we said,
this is not the biggest contest on the horizon, though. I want to let you guys know that right now. So for those of you feeling disappointed, there is a bigger contest that we have not told you the details about, but it is fucking coming, motherfuckers.
Oh, like we said on Sunday, watch episode 200 of Throwdown, man. That's what I'm saying. September 6th, people, because just saying, whip. Something happens on the 7th. I don't know what's gonna happen on the 7th. Something happens, yeah. But don't worry, we're gonna have more content for you guys in between. Then don't worry about that. On the horizon, we're gonna give away a free copy of Horizon Zero Dawn 2. The Revenge of Aloy.
Tony, I'm just going to say it's the responsibility as a powerful podcast.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yo, I bet Sergio Hara is watching this shit get gas for a second, son. Yeah, hold on. Let me give a shout out to people in the chat right now, man. My man Brian Wilson, what's going on, man? Matthew Trujillo, you already know Dip Dop Doopity. My man Carlos,
Yo.
X Skull, what's going on? Lunar. Czar is great. Showan, Barry, man. He says he got the drive through for White Castle. Let's go, man. Simon Jared. We got a lot of people here. My man, All Day Digital. All Day Digital was threatening to block me because I got an early copy of the game, man.
Well, I mean, it's not like you do spoilers, man.
Of course not, No, he was just salty, And that leads to the segue here. Okay, here's the thing. A lot of podcasts tonight are talking about God of War, because, the game's getting rave reviews and all that. We have some different. A motherfucker that's actually played the game. So we're gonna, so I'm gonna give you my review, but it's gonna be like a throwdown type of review. I'm gonna give you my review, and then you guys jump in with questions. If you want me to expand on anything, you know how we do around here, man.
Yeah, yep.
So yeah, God of War, and obviously shout out. Oh, hold on a second, please. All right, God of War is the shit. Like, you've seen the game's getting fucking 5 out of 5s, 10 out of 10s, 100s out of 100s. Justified, man. Justified. And I'm not the motherfucker that gives perfect scores. I wouldn't have given this perfect. I would have given it a 9. You know me, man. Tony, perfect. 95 out of 100. But those perfect scores are pretty fucking justified, man. And this game had a lot to live up to, the great legacy of the series and all that. But they've nailed, not only they nailed it, but they've actually revitalized the franchise, man. Like, because I've said this many times. God of War has run its course with the last game. Even though the last games were great, they had run their course, and I don't really feel they would have really worked in this day and age. As is, they needed a revamp, and they did do a revamp. And when I started playing this game, that's what I felt. I'm like, oh wow, this is a completely different experience. It was very different. Like, you had Kratos, he wasn't like really angry anymore. He had a kid and stuff, and it just seemed very different. But the more I played, I'm like, oh shit, this is still God of War. I'm still going around this crazy ass mythological world. I'm still killing monsters and stuff. I'm still finding hidden chests around the world. The thing is, the perspective is what made it feel so damn different. Like, if you were to place this, like the camera angle, like a normal God of War camera angle, it would be a God of War game. That's really the main thing. So I think you guys will be happy about that. You're still getting a God of War game. It's just bigger, And a lot of people are asking me, like, Tony, what do you mean? Is it open world? Is it like Uncharted, where it's like just a really expansive level? No, it's not none of those. It's in between. It's like, okay, because Uncharted has specific levels, and then they end, and you go to another set piece. It's all taking place within one realm, but it's not as big as like Far Cry 5 or anything like that, but it's still way bigger than anything we've seen in God of War. But because it's not so big, just let me finish up, and you can answer. Because it's not so big, it's able to keep the quality up, and then each section of it loops back around each other. That's the other staple of God of War that I always appreciate. I always liked when levels kind of loop back around each other. This one, the specific areas in the world loop back around each other and stuff. So like, if you go through an area once, when you come back through, you're going to discover little shortcuts or whatever, so you could utilize those to come back and find other shit later. Ask away.
So would you say the game is like it sounds like it's very similar to Tomb Raider, where it has like this kind of semi-open-ish world that you can run around in?
Yeah, Tomb Raider's a good analogy. It's not as big as Tomb Raider, but that's a good analogy, because Tomb Raider has specific sections. They're all connected to each other, but each section itself wraps around itself too. So yeah, Tomb Raider is actually a good one.
Can you see one area from other areas?
It depends on how high you are, but yeah.
Like, if you see a mountain, eventually are you going to kind of make your way to that mountain, or like, do they display the areas that you're going to be, or are they all just backdrops?
No,
because the way that you describe it, honestly, the first thing that jumps into my head was, that sounds like the way that the level design for the first Dark Souls was. Everything loops back on itself. You can kind of see other areas from certain areas. You're unlocking shortcuts as you go.
I wouldn't say that, though, because again, people, by the way, spoiler free here. I haven't played the first Dark Souls. I don't have a frame reference. It's not as tight as that, though. Like, I'm gonna use Bloodborne as a reference. That whole world kind of intersects with each other. But then again, that same world also has specific areas that loop back around each other. So it's kind of like Bloodborne
and
a little bit. Yeah, and shortcuts. Yeah, so I guess you could kind of compare it to Bloodborne, only there's an actual map you could look at and you know where to go and shit.
No. The more I'm hearing about this game, and I've kept my head in the dirt, both for the joy of the podcast, because you guys seem to like it when I'm fairly ignorant about shit, and because I don't want to get spoiled. This is a great way that I know that I'm not going to get any spoilers. But the more I hear about this game, from the combat to the level design, it seems like, while they're not copying Dark Souls, they definitely sat down and looked at, like, what is everybody going apeshit about this Souls things for? And they looked at the level design, they looked at the combat, and they took a little piece of that, and they said, what can we use out of here?
See, that's the thing. I'm gonna say no, because this is just doing God of War games I've always done. You know,
it's funny. Yeah. It is funny that you do say that though, because Cory Barlog has said that the Souls games were an inspiration on the combat of the game.
You know what? I could see that.
It's not a constant button mashing fest, but there is a fair amount of strategy. And you don't need to, at least from what he said, it doesn't need you can't just depend solely on one combo to kind of get through things.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that, but that makes sense now, because I guess I could skip to this. Yeah, this is Flaffy. Thank you for the super chat, man.
Thanks, man.
This is the hardest God of War game I've played. I played through all of them. I always felt God of War in normal is like okay, good, decent challenge or whatever. This one was fucking me up. I had to actually strategize because I was getting wrecked, especially in the beginning. Well,
I'm not even talking about difficulty. I'm talking specifically about some of the combat footage that I have seen. It's all about spacing and dodging and knowing how far your swings are. It's being familiar with your moveset and exploiting that while kind of knowing the moveset of the other thing and getting in the spaces of that. So and that's one thing that I really want everybody to know. Dark Souls is not just hard. It's balanced and it's fair and it's cruel, but it's those other things too. And so that's one thing that I actually got really excited about with looking at the combat from God of War. Is it doesn't look like a bunch of hitting X's. It looks more like, oh shit, this guy, he's raising his shoulder, an axe is going to come down at me, roll to the left, and then I can go into my combo with a heavy finisher.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more strategy to it before you can't just because some people have accused the games of just being mindless button mashing. I don't agree with that assessment, but I don't think those.
Well, when you say strategy, do you mean like using the level to your advantage or setting up traps, or do you just mean like having to be prepared for and be reactive to the enemies?
Yeah, be reactive to the enemies. You can't just okay, I'm just going to kill this one enemy, turn around, kill this guy. No, you can't. For example, if you try to get greedy in the game with big combos, you're going to get fucked up by whoever's behind you. And remember, because the closer camera angle, which I'm going to get to, you're going to get sideswiped a lot. So you can't just stay in one spot forever. You got to constantly keep moving like that. So again, there's a lot of things you got to keep in mind. Otherwise, you're going to get fucking wrecked. If you get greedy, you're going to get fucked up.
Yo, Tony, there's a couple of questions in the chat that I would like
throw them at me, man. Let's go.
First one is, how is the performance mode in the game?
Performance mode, so smooth, so like a baby's ass. So smooth. All right, so let me back it up. So there's two modes, obviously. There's performance mode, which is 1080p, not 60 frames, but higher than 30, obviously. And then there's resolution, which is 4K. I don't know if it's checkerboard. I believe it's checkerboard 4K. I don't have 4K TV. And even if I did, I wouldn't have gone with that because I want that silky smoothness. Don't get me wrong, it's not locked and shit. And sometimes when battles get crazy, it drops down to 30 and stuff. But if you're just exploring, man, that smoothness is ridiculous, man. So yeah, the performance mode, fucking legit. What's the next one?
Can you say if the beginning explains how Kratos got there?
The game actually, I don't know if I want to spoil that. I don't know how I can't answer. I can answer this, but I don't know if it'll be a spoiler.
Okay,
I think you should leave it alone.
I think say yes or no.
But
if you think that's a spoiler, Tony, then it's better.
Yeah,
not to
I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm using it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone because either answer I give is gonna yes or no is gonna give.
Okay, away. Let me ask you an altered version. Are you satisfied, having played the game, that you have been told everything you narratively need to know?
There's some things I don't feel I needed to know.
But were all your questions answered? About Kratos, about how he got there, about his son? Did you find out things that, did you walk away being like, okay, I felt like, or do you still feel like we walked in being like, man, they could have driven a semi-truck through the plot hole at the front of this game?
No, there weren't any plot holes. Again, the reason you guys see me doing this face is because I'm like, what can I say without spoiling it? I can't.
Just say whether or not you were satisfied with how much they explained.
I was satisfied with the story of the game. I'll leave it at that.
There we go.
I was very satisfied with the story of the game. And this is not maybe a little bit of sway, but I like the fact that they actually set up the next game. Like, oh, okay, very interesting. Next question.
So, SARS Great asked, "Hey Tony, what's this nonsense on the web about Kratos doesn't have no jump button? I seen him jumping plenty of times on gameplay vids."
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you can't jump whenever you want. You can only jump whenever there's a specific like platform. But there's so many of those. You do not miss a jump button at all. But I never really jumped like that in a God of War game unless you needed to do a platforming section. But yeah, you don't even miss that shit because there's so many parts where you can just press circle and go up. By the way, you can remap your buttons and stuff because the default, and this is me giving you advice, the default setting is your attacks are at the top, right? R1 and R2. Fucking retarded. Change them back to classic. Change them to classic. Go to classic. Don't fuck with that shit. So yeah, jump button is there, but it has to be at a specific part. Doesn't hinder you. Next question.
Is it better than God of War 3?
That's a good question. That's the thing. People think that you need to ask me this question. Is it better than God of War 1? Because to me, that's the pinnacle. No, nothing is better than God of War 1. But he did specifically ask, "This is better than 3?" I'll need to get back to you on that one. I need to play it like a couple more times for me to make that assessment. I think I'm gonna go with I like. That's a good. Here's the reason. God of War 3. I want to say it's a better game, but you need to have played all the other games. This one is a little bit more standalone-ish, which
it's more self-contained.
Yeah. So that. To me, it's a little bit more important than like, hey, it's the final part of a trilogy. You know what I mean? All right, next question. This is good. You guys are making this shit easy. Again,
so this isn't completely about God of War, but since Flaffy paid a super chat, I'll allow it. He said, "Hi, Xbox fanboys drop Sea of Thieves for Far Cry 5, but what games will be dropped when God of War releases?"
Monster Hunter,
Far Cry 5.
Far Cry 5 and Monster Hunter.
Yeah, but there's not really any games out right now, so there's not really anything to drop. I see this one from Skull. Did you get different weapons? This another one.
Oh, that's another.
Yeah. I'm going to leave it at that. Yes, you do. The axe is not your only weapon. You get your axe, your fist, and one more weapon.
And one more.
I'd also like to say that as somebody who enjoys Sea of Thieves and is playing Far Cry 5, motherfucker, I'm coming back.
Yeah. Yo,
Sean Astin wants you back to be playing Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, by the way,
Flaffy, let us know if you directed this question towards Brett.
Yeah.
Here's the great thing. I'll use this. I'll fucking use this as a little podium. Here's the great thing about Sea of Thieves. There's no level progression. I can step out and step back in at a whim. I'm never gonna have to come back and worry about being behind the curve on somebody else.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. I'm not going to spoil nothing. But I'm just going to say you have your axe, you have your fist, and one more weapon, and you're going to be very happy. That's all I say about that.
It is really tough asking you questions about this game.
I have a question, actually.
Yeah.
How is the kid and like his AI, and is this? We're going to harp back into it.
Can he die?
Is this an escort mission, like Brett said?
No, can the kid die? I need to know this. I'm sorry to cut. I need to know this right now.
That's a good
question.
Can he die? Because there are instances where he has been grabbed by a monster. He's like, "Dad, help me!" And I go in there and help him. And I see
not cutscenes. Can he be downed?
I don't know because I always rescued him.
Wait, so he can get captured while you're in combat?
Yes, he can get captured. Yeah, he can get captured. It doesn't happen very often. It's extremely rare, but he can get captured. But it's also, you literally have to hit the guy once and that he drops him, so it's not that hard to, and by the way, I need to, because, Brad, I know you were saying like, Ellie took you out of the immersion in Last of Us. There's no sneaking in this game, so don't worry about that. There's no sneaking in it, Yo, Reggie, why you out, son? Hey, Reggie, stick around, man. You're the one that's giving away that fucking statue, and don't worry, I'm not spoiling nothing, brother. Any other questions here? I see. Hold on. All Day Digital goes, would this God of War replace any of your previous God of Wars? Hell no. Nothing's ever beaten God of War 1. That you cannot top that game.
But any of the other ones, not just God of War 1. Is this better? Is this?
I would say it's
the worst God of War.
Would you say it's better than God of War 2?
Oh, easily. Easily. That's not even a question. I don't like God of War 2, so that's not really
the
asking
second worst
much.
God of War game. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like God of War 2, so yeah, that's easy.
Where in your God of Wars would you rank this?
Wow, this is going to be controversial. My second favorite God of War game.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's only controversial against people who are obsessed with 3.
Yeah, and 2, because people love 2. I don't like 2. I was worried about that, by the way. I was worried that because Cory Barlog director told me, like, is he going to do that shit? And I'm going to say this without spoiling. There are some Cory Barlog isms in this game that I'm like, he's still doing this shit. He's very free. Like, he plays, what's the word I'm looking for? He's fast. He's a little fast and loose with the Norse mythology, just like he was with Greek mythology, right? That shit's still in there. And
the Island of Time.
Yeah, that bullshit. And then also the fact that, okay, I can't say anything, but his specific type of boss battles are in this game. I'll leave it at that. You guys may figure out what that means, you know? But
at least they have boss battles.
They have, and there's a lot of them. This game has a lot of boss battles. Mini bosses, big bosses, typical God of War bosses where it's like, very cinematic, and then there's some ones where it's like, just fucking kill them. A good mix of bosses too, good mix of enemies. Not a crazy amount of enemies, maybe 10 different varieties, but it's not like, you won't get bored of it if you know what I mean. Some games like, I've been fighting the same 3 dudes for like 5 hours, bruh. Nothing like that. Since I don't think anybody else is asking this. Wait, are we getting more questions here? Let me look around here. Oh, Cory Barlog says Atreus cannot die. Okay, there you go. Do you see DLC in the future for God of War? I hope so, because I'm going to say this. MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe type of ending, people. If you know what I mean. Stick around after the credits. Stick around after those motherfucking credits, man. That's all I'm telling you, man. You guys are going to lose your fucking minds, So you could definitely do, I want them to do a proper
I got a
sequel
question.
for that. Go ahead.
I'm not sure if you'll be able to answer it. Without spoiling anything, just because I'd like to know if I'm going to walk into this shit, does this game end on a cliffhanger?
No. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but no.
I don't think so, but okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Because if there's a cliffhanger, I just want to know before I walk into it.
Yeah, this isn't like God of War 2. It's not that type. You don't see that type of ending where it's like.
Does Jesus show up at the end?
Yes. Oh, by the way, he's not here. Damn it. Adam was wrong. That's all I'm going to say about that. Adam was 100% wrong about his prediction. Tony, what's his prediction? Go back and see. I'm not going to say it here. Adam was 1,000% wrong. Dip Top Doopity asks, is there a Nathan Drake crossover? Yeah, Nathan Drake pops in at the latter half of the game, bro. It's crazy. Oh, look at that. Gamer Knight says that Brett, you asked the question. You asked the question for him, so that's good.
How many hours did you log in or in the game? Okay,
you can't log in hours, so I had to just guess. It was anywhere between 16 and 20 hours to beat the main game. And the thing is, me, I usually like to do the side shit before I beat the game. The game was so fucking good, the story, I was like, no, I gotta keep going. And I went ham. I got this shit on Friday, and I beat it on Saturday night. I only stopped to sleep, eat, and shit, and piss. That's it. And I took a shower in there too, because I can't be funky, but yeah, I went ham. So it was like 16, 20 hours, but I'm still playing this shit.
So you didn't smell like Kratos at the end of after you finished this game.
Yeah, no. Pixel Protocol goes, without spoiling a moment, is there any real gory bloodbath moments like in God of War 3, yes or no? I'm going to say this. I'll say this, because Cory Barlog said this is the most brutal God of War game ever. No, it isn't. I'll leave it at that. No, it is not. God of War 3? Man, you can't beat that shit.
Yeah, like you ripping out the eyes of ripping off the head of a god and seeing all that. I mean, at least from what I can see, it just looks like you're ripping apart monsters, but they look like they have fucking lava in them, not real blood.
Yeah, it's don't get me wrong. There's some brutal shit that happens. This is still God of War game, but it is not as brutal as 3. 3 took it to a whole other level, man. But there are points where Kratos gets fucking covered in blood and shit. But since it's a video game, the blood just magically goes away. It actually happens in a cinematic. So I'm like, okay, they addressed that shit. Okay, it's It's hilarious. Are you going to platinum a game? Oh, people, I'm going to admit my shame here. I have gotten to platinum in every single God of War game. I don't know if I could do it for this one. Because, as I said, this game is really fucking hard. And I heard the super hard mode is like crazy. I'm going to give it a shot. But I can't promise anything. You know? Can't promise that.
Yeah, not 1,000 times playing the final boss. Bones that break.
Yeah. Dip Dop Doopity asked me, where does this rank in your favorite PS4 exclusives? Ooh. All right, let's name them. What are the biggest PS4 exclusives out right now? You got Horizon, you got Persona, you got Bloodborne, you got God of War, Nier,
Uncharted 4.
Uncharted 4, that's another one.
Knack.
Knack, man. You can't fucking top Knack, man. And Killzone?
Killzone Shadowfall. Yo, man.
By the way,
on my PC?
Yeah. By the way, in case you guys don't know, Knack and Killzone are fucking trash. Shit, that's a good question. I was thinking about this. I'm like, do I like this game more than Horizon? You know, and this is where I get tricked up. Horizon has more content in it, right? It's a bigger world to explore. But it ain't got fucking Kratos in it. You know what I'm saying?
What if Kratos was in Horizon Zero Dawn?
You know what, people? I think I'm going to say it. I think this is my favorite PS4 exclusive.
Oh,
shit.
Those would be fighting words with some people.
Yeah, I know that. Like,
now on to the really important questions.
Yeah.
Are there boobies in this one?
I don't know how to answer this. I can answer
yes or no question. I'm curious, and I put it that way for funsies, but I'm actually curious. Did they dial back on the sexuality?
Yes, yes, I can answer. Yes, they did. And I'm guessing because two reasons why. One, let's just be honest, that shit doesn't really fly anymore in the game industry. And two, you have a little kid with you. You're gonna go like, hey son, just hold on, watch how daddy works. You know, you can't do that.
Hey son, watch as I do this sex mini game.
Yeah,
one day you too will be a man.
Yeah, you know, it's not like I'm gonna take this harpy from the back. Watch, son, I'm gonna teach you how to be a man. You can't do that shit. So no, there's no nudity, no sex, none of that stuff. You know, none of that shit's in there. You know. Just being real. You know, if that makes you not want to buy the game, there you go.
No, it's a stupid question about any other game. The only reason I bring it up is God of War is kind of known for having those little risque moments or mini games. They've pandered to it at least a few times. Even in the last one, they had certain trophy titles that people all flutter. So I'm curious, and I'm not really sure if I'll view this as kowtowing to pressure or not. I've always had like kind of a snarky attitude towards sex, and I'm wondering if it'll be strangely absent in this game.
Yeah, I don't know about strangely, because it would just be weird. It's like you're
the fact that you bring the kid up, like, okay, I hadn't thought of it like that, and that makes 1,000% sense. Like, yeah, that would be really kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, you fucking a fucking Valkyrie or something while your son's watching.
I wasn't even thinking about like the mini games. I'm curious about whether like, you know,
you mean like the topless harpies in God of War?
Yeah, no, there's no titties, nothing like that. You know, the only titties you see is Kratos's, you know.
I find that interesting. Yeah. I wonder if that's just because of the way that the game was designed. You know, it's cold climate, it's more Celtic or Norse mythology, or if they're actually intentionally stepping away from sensitive subject material.
It's a good question. I mean, not to get too off topic, and this is the other thing. One of the reasons I have, you know, even though, despite what how I feel about this game, it being my second favorite God of War, I still have a little bit more of affinity for the older games just because of the fact they're set in Greece mythology. I'm very familiar with that. Norse mythology, not really so much. So my question is, and again, I don't know if I'm wrong about this, I don't really see, like, with the Greek gods, like sexuality pretty much just pours out of them. I don't really get that from the Norse gods. The Norse gods like, I'm just gonna fucking kill everything, you know. So I don't know, Brent, maybe you could enlighten me to this. Is there really much sexuality within Norse mythology? I don't really see that, you know.
There's not as much sexuality in Norse culture.
Norse culture, okay, gotcha.
No, there's not. But
so Brett, let me ask you this. So with that in mind, is it wrong that this game stepped back from that, just considering the fact that it takes place in, you know, mythic Norse lands or whatever?
No, and that's actually, you know, my question comes across as juvenile, but I'm actually legitimately wondering because they have a perfect scapegoat. It's a colder climate. It's a different mythology. It's based on a culture that isn't necessarily so sex focused. So it's a perfect time and a perfect way to kind of step away from that. And you can very easily do that while weaving into the narrative. And if you do that, I have no problem with that. It's not going to cry like, where are my boobies? Like, whatever, man.
Yeah,
that's not a big deal. I'm just curious that it makes me wonder if there was just a backroom meeting, and this is just the way that my brain works, where they're like, you know what, we're really catching a lot of heat for all this, you know, bare-chested, you know, tongue-in-cheek kind of sexy humor. Let's just drop it. Let's just ditch all of that, and that way we don't have to worry about it anymore. And maybe they found a good way to do it. I'm genuinely kind of curious because it's always been kind of a little thing with the God of War series. You know, they've always pushed that button. They're always about uber sex and uber violence. You know, it's a little weird. But I don't necessarily know that it's a bad thing because, like I said, you can tie it into a narrative, and I'm a sucker for narrative, man. If you can explain anything, even the simplest of fucking ways, I'm generally happy about it. I just hate when they don't actually explain shit. But even like a good example I give my friends all the time. The new Kong movie. Spoiler alert. They're like, oh, there's an island full of giant stuff. Well, why haven't we seen it before? Because it's got a storm around it. All right, that's good enough. Moving on.
Yeah, as long as they give you something, you know. Yeah, but again, you know, if you really just go into this, like, okay, so you're really gonna get ass naked on a snowy mountain with your son watching. It doesn't really make much sense.
Well, you could, because here's the thing: a good monster design, I come from the school of Geiger on this. Like, you have to blend a little bit of sexuality in stuff as kind of a spice. Like, it doesn't have to be overt. Like, you know, the lines in a car can be sexy. You're looking for certain artistic elements that play into that. And one of the things that works really well is mixing a little bit of sexy with a whole lot of scary. That's where your typical xenomorph comes in. Like, you wouldn't say that the alien is sexy, but if you actually look at Geiger's work and you actually look at the model of the alien, there's a lot of sexual influence there, and that's what makes that extra little bit of horrifying. So yes, a mountain troll coming down with, you know, patchy bare chest and like weird floppy troll titties, horrifying. That would be horrifying.
Yeah. All the monsters, I mean, not all the monsters, because the Valkyries are obviously women, but most of the monsters look very male, you know. But, you know, by the way, the women design in this game, they're all very, very good looking, so don't think there's not any sexiness in the game. The Valkyries look hot. I don't know if they've shown one other leading female in the trailer or not. She's very good looking too. So there's still, you know, and then obviously, you know, like the gods themselves look good too, you know, like, you know, attractive and shit. So it's not like everybody looks fucking ugly or whatever, you know. But again, it wouldn't make sense for you to be having sex with your son watching. Very weird.
The overt sexuality is definitely out. And the more that you talk about it, the more impression, like, even if you're like, okay, so you're fighting Valkyrie at one part of the game, like, which means it kind of answered a question that I had rolling around the back of my head, like, okay, are there any female enemies? So it doesn't really seem like they're folding to any kind of outside pressure. It just seems like they're telling the kind of story that they want to tell, and sex doesn't seem to be a big part of the story, and that's fine because
you beat the fuck out of Valkyries and rip their wings off, so they're not playing it safe either, you know. And
that's what I'm saying. So, like, it doesn't sound like, as a franchise, the creators were, you know, tiptoeing around anything. So I did not expect there to be a sex mini game. I was more curious about the like the character design and things like that. So
yeah, no, the character, everybody's good looking in the game. Hold on, let me ask some more stuff here. This is the next thing I want to talk about too. All Day Digital goes, how did you like the RPG elements? I don't know if they're RPG elements, but he's talking about upgrades and shit. Just like every other God of War game, you could upgrade your equipment, but this one adds a little bit more to it because you could also upgrade your armor. You could add rune stones to it, and each of the rune stones actually has different attributes. Like, some give you more health, some give you more strength, some make you shock resistant. cold resistant. So you could actually weirdly build your own version of Kratos, right? Like, for example, if you're getting fucked up a lot, put a bunch of shit on you that gives you more protection, right? Or if you're just really confident in your shit, put a bunch of stuff on you that makes you more deadly in combat. You could also do the same with Atreus. You could either have him kind of like give you buffs and shit, like heals, or just make him like exploit enemy weaknesses and stuff. So yeah, you could definitely tailor Kratos, and the different armors give you different attributes as well and stuff. So you could definitely tailor Kratos to your specific playstyle, which is actually kind of interesting. Caesar's never done that before, you know?
So there's outfits.
Yes, not really outfits, just different looking armors. Mighty Nerd, no, we're not spoiling anything here. We're very careful about that. But yeah, there's just different armors you could wear and shit. But it's not like outfits, like you can't dress like a bear or something.
Are there hats?
No.
I didn't think so. I knew it. I was like, you can't put Kratos in a hat.
Kratos don't work in a hat, bro. You know? Oh yeah, I need to talk about this too, and this is for you Stargate SG-1 fans. Christopher Judge is the fucking man as Kratos.
Well, of course he is.
And Brett, he says it. He says, "Indeed." One point in the game, I lost my fucking mind. I lost my fucking mind. But he didn't say it like Teal'c, you know, because Teal'c, despite the way he looks, he's a very nice guy, right? He's calm. Yeah, he's calm. He's always like, "Indeed." You know, Kratos, he's like, "Indeed." I'm like, damn. Like angry Teal'c right now, man. Fuck.
I still gotta fuck somebody up, man.
Yeah. And like I said, and he's not putting on a voice. That's just his, you know, I mean, obviously he's like more angry or something, but it's still his natural speaking voice and stuff. And by the way, people, unlike Kiefer Sutherland, who had like 2 lines in fucking Metal Gear, Christopher Judge talks a lot, which is good. You know, he doesn't talk more than Kratos normally does, but he has a lot of shit to say, which is good. It's like, you're gonna hire this big time actor, let this motherfucker talk, you know?
Hey, Kaz. And then there's nothing else. That's what he says.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man, you gotta talk. Kratos, you know, he talks when he needs to, especially teaching his son lessons and shit. Most of the time, scolding him. Let's just be real. Well, I will say, actually, no, I was gonna say that's a spoiler. Not gonna do it. But yeah, I really like the interplay between characters, even though there's not that many characters in the game. There's maybe less than 10 actual characters in the actual game, but I feel that's better because you're actually able to delve into each one of them even more, you know, get more out of them and shit. You learn more about Kratos, his son, and especially Atreus, man. Like, he really grows throughout this game and stuff from beginning to the end. Very different type of character, which I think is cool. You know, there are certain points where the kid, you know, kids in general can be annoying. So sometimes there's some little kidisms like, man, he's come over to slap the shit out of you. But he's a good kid generally, you know.
In God of War, I mean, to be honest, there isn't really that many characters that you can really. I mean, there are characters, but they're not really characters that you can delve that deep into. You really don't. I mean, like, you hear about them a lot. I mean, some talk to you, but you really don't get anything deeper than just like, Kratos, you must go here and do as I say. You know, stuff like that. You don't really get much of that any more than that.
Yeah, no, there's more dialogue in this game. Way more dialogue from all the characters. You know, but I'm guessing that's because there's less of them.
What did you, I mean, this is not a spoiler because things are, you know, they've been showing these in reviews. What did you think of the lore book inside of the game?
I like the fact that it was written by Atreus's account. It's not like, you know, usually codexes is like written by some unnamed author or whatever, you know, like a disembodied voice. It's actually Atreus telling you all the shit he's seen throughout the game, because Atreus, he knows about Norse gods and all that shit. So he's the one that's telling Kratos all that stuff. Kratos, it's funny, he's been like living there for a while. He never took the time to actually bother to learn any of this shit. He just didn't care, you know? He doesn't even know how to read this shit. He's like, boy, what does that say? You know?
Boy, what does that say?
Yeah, he says a lot. Boy. You know, when shit gets real, that's when he says, Atreus. I'm like, oh,
does he say it like this? Boy.
No, he doesn't.
Like Phantasm?
Like Phantasm?
No, he doesn't. You're crazy, man. So yeah, I like the lore book. That was really good. Like, again, it's written by it's like, hey, we saw this. This is crazy. You know, that was pretty fun. And there's also another character which you've seen in the trailers and stuff. He's the guy in the tree and stuff, Mimir. He gives you a lot of lore. He's pretty funny too. A little perverted too, which is kind of funny. You know,
the blue dude.
No, he's not blue. He's like stuck on a tree.
Yeah, he's got like a gold eye.
Yeah, him. Yeah, there's this one part where he's talking about the Valkyries. He's like, oh yeah, they hang out in Asgard, they drink and fornicate. By the way, this is the first God of War game that I could be wrong about this, where they actually say fuck. Like they say it, I'm like, oh, I don't remember cursing in other God of War games.
Boy, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, they actually curse in this game, like they say shit and fuck. Is there any comical aspects? Yeah, there's some funny stuff, but it's mostly because like it's one of those things. Like Kratos is such a straight guy, you know what I mean? Like his son will say something and Kratos will say just something grim and dark. He's like, that's pretty funny, Although there is one part where like Kratos actually goes, like
get a laugh out of him.
Yeah, you actually get a laugh out of him. I forgot what. Actually, I better not spoil. Even though it's like a minor thing, because when you're rowing on a boat and stuff, the characters just start talking to each other, which is really fun. You get a lot of cool little anecdotes by them. But yeah, like the Mimir guy, he actually made Kratos not laugh, but he just went, and even the boy's like, oh, Dad actually found that funny. But he was making fun of the kid though, so I don't know if he liked that too much. The soundtrack is fucking good. I heard they got Bear McCreary to do this shit. That's the Walking Dead guy. The soundtrack is fucking, it's God of War. It's fucking epic, man. I think I pretty much covered it. The game is the fucking shit. If you have a PS4, you need this in your collection. And I predict, actually, let's end it with this. Sales predictions. That's what people want us to talk about. I'm bad with this shit, so I'm going to toss this over to Carlos first. How many copies do you think it's going to sell?
Someone asked earlier in the chat, do we think this game, Dip Top Doobity actually, he said, do you think this game will outsell Uncharted 4? No, definitely not.
What did Uncharted 4 end at?
I don't know, but it was some obscene number. Let me check. But
are we looking to guesstimate what first week, first month, or lifetime?
Let's go for first week.
First week.
Yeah, let's go for first week.
By the way, Uncharted 4, 10 million.
Lifetime. Damn. Yeah, will this lifetime sell that much?
I think it'll sell more.
Yeah, Fadil is following us on Twitch. Thank you, man. You think it's gonna sell more? Here's the thing. I mean,
there's 70 million PlayStations in the wild. You don't think that this thing can sell 12 million?
I think it can, to be honest.
I don't think so.
But here's the thing. This was getting me fucked up. On the one hand, I'm like, yes, there's enough PlayStations out there for this game to actually sell that much. But this is gonna sound weird. I believe Uncharted is a more mainstream type of title than God of War is. Even though God of War is, yeah, I
kind of thought it was the opposite.
No, I think because Uncharted, it takes place in modern times, has like human characters in it and shit. It's funnier, so it's like the MCU of video games, Yeah,
but it's also a first-person shooter, and some people
it's not a first-person shooter; it's a third-person shooter.
Excuse me, it's a third-person shooter. Well, shooter's what I meant. Shooter's the word I was looking for. It's a shooter.
That's also another reason. That's also a reason why I think it'll do better, because people like shooting things more than hack and slash games.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
No, that makes sense. Hack and slashers seem more accessible to me from some of the people that I know, but maybe that's my perception. Okay, so first week sales, we're talking?
Why not? Yeah. Good question. What's the highest selling PlayStation exclusive first week? Because then Horizon sell like
a million, was
it? I don't. By the way, just for the record, I don't like doing these type of predictions, but you guys did ask.
Chris needs to be here.
Yeah, Chris is right there. Man. Chris, you go first, man.
No, Chris needs to be here. Like out. Chris, jump out.
Jump out where? What?
Jump out from the shadows with some facts or something like that. We're all grasping at straws here.
Oh, okay.
Yo, Chris, talk.
By the way, before, so we can give Chris a little bit of time. Horizon Zero Dawn sold 1.83 million first week.
Okay, there we go.
2 million.
All right,
2 million.
So you want my opinion? First week God of War is gonna go over 2 million.
Yeah, I agree.
First 30 days, 5 million. 90 days, 8 million.
What?
Damn!
What the fuck?
Dude, Chris is on my page, yo.
Chris, that's a bold statement, man.
Yeah. I think so. I think that this year is the we're hitting the peak of this generation's like stuff. We're finally hitting the stride like that we should have had. We're finally getting the games we deserve. Let's just say that.
Damn.
You know, and
Green light,
so
man.
this is capping off that period of time. Like this, God of War is going to launch us into everything else. Like then down the road we get like Spider-Man and Red Dead Redemption 2 and all this stuff. This year's going to be huge. So this game probably will beat 2 million in a week, and I'll say, what did I say in a month?
You
You
said
said
5 million, right, in a month?
5 million, yeah, in 30 days.
And then yeah, I'll go bold and I'll say it'll hit 8 million or get close in 90 days.
Whoa.
That okay. So by the end of July, I guess.
Yeah, we're so April 20th launch. So by May 20th, yeah.
So
Yeah.
June 20th. By the end of E3,
Yeah.
you're saying it's gonna sell 8 mil. Damn. Carlos, you need to do your pen in this shit right now, man. You're
Well, I mean, think about it. I don't think he's off because I was gonna say between 8 and 9 million in the first quarter.
Damn, son. By the way, Daniel J, man, thank you for the super chat.
Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah, don't worry, Chris. The charts are coming back at the end of the month, brother. You know?
Yeah, the charts come back. I only say that because like
Yo, Chris, these guys are serious about the charts, bro.
I pre-ordered a bunch, like even PlayStation exclusive and big games. I haven't had trouble ordering pre-ordering any game from Amazon. This is the first one in a while.
Yeah, that's what I told Tony earlier today.
Yeah, they're out of
This
physical.
game is gonna be
units.
hot fire.
Yeah.
By the way,
It's gonna be
Yeah.
hot like the fires of Muspelheim, man.
I mean, they'll probably do like what Monster Hunter World did. Like, what is it, 1 million in a day or something? What did Monster Hunter did something ridiculous?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
pretty
Monster
nuts.
that jumped past 7 million pretty quick.
Yeah. So I easily I think out of War, even though it's a single player narrative story, I think we are kind of hungry for those. Even if people don't want to admit it. People are hungry for that like deep story and whatever. The word of mouth will spread. I mean, I can't believe the scores it's getting. I know you loved it and stuff, but like the 10s out of 10s and the 5s out of, go look at Metacritic. Like Polygon gave it a perfect score.
Man.
I'm like,
Dude,
and this
my
is
mind
Polygon.
blown. Yeah.
Polygon, yeah.
Plus, it's gonna get the bundle boost.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah, that's one thing. Like, Uncharted 4 like had a huge bundle boost when on the holiday the year it came out. So we'll see what they have.
Here's
at
the thing:
end.
8 million. I definitely see this shit selling 8 million this year. The first Chris, man. Woo.
Yeah, I don't think I can go that far.
Damn.
I mean, that's fucking crazy. Yeah. By the way, shout out to Richard Bailey Jr. He said weed would be the top selling item of April 2018.
You already know. By the way, I just hit up Sergio. He's like, He's like, are you serious? He just shit his pants, son.
Oh, yeah. He just found out.
Yeah. Oh, yo, if that game's I can't. Hold on, Chris, you fucked me up right now, man. I can't even go on right now. This is Chris fucking my mind up.
So
If
Chris,
this-
mind.
if this sells 8 million in 3 months, I don't even know, man. Get on Twitter. That's all I'm saying. Get on Twitter. It's gonna be hilarious.
I'll say I think this game has a good chance to sell 8 million in the first quarter, which is when a game usually has most of its sales. And then I'll even go further. I think the bundle boost will bump it up to 12
This year?
lifetime.
Okay, see, Lifetime, I totally see that. But Chris, by your guesstimate, it's going to be more than 12 Lifetime, isn't it? It's going to be what, 15 Lifetime?
It'll trickle off. So I'll agree with Brett. It'll have a steep drop off, especially going towards the end of the year when you have to compete. It'll have to compete with itself. It'll have to compete with Spider-Man and Red Dead. Everybody's going to jump on that.
Yeah, that's right.
So the drop off will be steep after the summer. So it's in a prime spot. That's why I'm saying in that 3 months leading up to E3, which summer is a dead zone, right? That it's going to do big.
Yeah, you're right about that. But you're right, yeah. At the end of this year, I'm sorry, as hot as this game is, Red Dead, fucking murder it.
That's why we're saying, man, we're predicting most of its sales will come in its first quarter. This is going to be one of those games that hits like fire and then is burned out quick because it's a short game, and other games are going to come after it. But it's that perfect slot. It doesn't need to hold your attention like Monster Hunter. It just needs to move the copies, and it's going to do that because everybody's going to want to play the new God of War.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
So it'll sell all it's going to sell generally in the first few months, and then it'll kind of, I hate to use this term, but it'll limp along as with the bundle boost for another 6 months.
Yeah. And I think between us and Europe alone, it will do like really well.
Yeah, it's gonna be gangbusters. And again, this game's getting high praise and actually deserves it. It's really, really good. Man, oh, by the way, remember somebody saying that single player games are dead, no one cares? Pretty interesting, man. Pretty interesting.
I'm telling you, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. People are hungry for
people
that
like
shit.
that shit, man. People like it. I think people are getting tired. I mean, not tired, but there's a certain kind of person that's getting tired of these PUBG games. So that's good, man. Got to give people what they want, man. All right, so we're gonna move on. By the way, this week, not a lot happened, man. Kind of a bullshit week.
But speaking of PUBG,
speaking about PUBG, is that hopefully that's the next fucking it is, man. Okay, so Cliffy B is launching a new game. It's called Radical Heights, and it's a fucking PUBG game. It's a fucking PUBG game. It's a battle arena game or whatever, battle royale game. I'm not making this up. It's a battle royale game. They're jumping on board. I'm like, you saw what happened to Lawbreakers, man. Even though Lawbreakers is not a, it's not a PUBG game, but it was trying to jump on the bandwagon of
the Overwatch
games, and look what happened. By the way, I need to say this. The main reason I'm doing this topic is just I could say the tweet from CEO Kasarai. Brilliant fucking
Tony.
Tweet. What's up?
Ex-CEO Kasarai.
Oh yeah, that's right. No.
He's cold now.
He changed his name.
Oh yeah, that's right, because he's retiring in E3. He said, brilliant fucking tweet. He's like, I don't know what Cliffy B's talking about, saying that this is his first battle royale game. Lawbreakers was his first battle royale game. It started with 100 players and it trickled down to 1. Like, damn.
Oh man.
I was like, that's the only reason I want to talk about this shit. But what do you guys? I'm like, Cliffy, man, I don't even know where to go with this shit. Like, I know what I want to say, but I'm trying to be nice. You know what I'm saying? Carlos,
are you trying to say how the mighty have fallen?
Carlos, you say it, man. You were talking about this shit before.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say I co-sign everything Carlos is about to say.
We do a lot to praise what I call legacy directors. There's like these people in the industry. Like, we had a discussion about this a couple of weeks ago about how most directors don't make more than one great gaming franchise. Like, we praise, the David Jaffes, the Cliff Blazinskis, the who else? Who else is out there?
You threw in Kojima.
Oh no! Well, Kojima. I don't want to open that can of worms. Especially with you and Manny there.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I mean, none of the. I mean, as far as Kojima goes, I mean, he only really has one real big franchise, but that's not to say that the other games that he did create were successful. You know
right?
What I mean?
Yeah, but for most developers, once they get out of their like franchise, they're the one that raised them to the top, they just fall down. Like, I mean, Calling All Cars wasn't good. So it's
all this is what I said. I'm jumping in right now. I'm sorry, Carlos. These guys are one-hit wonders. Guys like that, David Jaffe, Cliffy B, are one-hit wonders, right?
But here's the thing: like, Jaffe's has 2 under his belt.
Oh yeah, that's right. Twisted Metal, can't forget about
that. At least the first few Twisted Metal games, and then God of War. So he was still riding high.
Yeah, that's true. And to be fair, Cliffy B does have Unreal Tournament and Gears of War. But I think maybe it's not one-hit wonders. They like peaked creatively, and that's it. They're kind of done. They're trying, but I'm like, okay, to Cliffy, I'm like, okay. So you tried to jump on the bandwagon of a fucking Overwatch. That shouldn't work. So now you're trying to jump on the bandwagon of Fortnite and PUBG. I don't know, man.
It's like, and this is someone that's been in the industry for forever, and the way they let their creative like juices flowing is by releasing a game that everyone else is making. It's like what the like Cliffy B has like is one of the biggest names out there, and like if one of the biggest names out there like goes down to this level, like what does that say about gaming directors?
Yeah, right about that. I'm like who said it? All somebody in the, yeah, it was All Date. He goes, Cliffy B was successful when he did original stuff. Yeah. Gears of War, even though Gears of War was pretty much, it was inspired by Resident Evil 4 and Kill Switch, it was still an original game, right? It was doing its own thing. He needs to do shit like that again. Do your own thing, man. Don't write the coattails of somebody else. Bro.
But I mean, if you notice the two games that these creators have made, like the biggest ones that they're known for, they're essentially reconfiguring stuff that have already existed.
Yeah.
God of War is a combination of literally a bunch of different types of games.
It is.
It's got the beat 'em up aspect of the Devil May Cry games. It's got those those big open big open spaces like not Last Guardian, but like Eco. So it's got all these different things that are,
and the giant monsters from Shadow of the Colossus.
It's got the giant, the later one, yeah, it got those giant monsters from the Shadow of the Colossus. So it's like I think maybe the fact is that they're not, that they even to this day there are kind of repackaging things that have already existed in the industry as opposed to making something truly original.
Yeah. By the way, I need to jump in this. This is interesting. Dip Dop is asking, do you think Amy Hennig belongs in this category? No. And here's the thing about Amy Hennig. Everybody knows her for Uncharted. Everybody forgets about Legacy of Kain, so she has a pretty good track record, And
Amy Hennig has never designed a game.
Yeah, she just, writes.
She writes the games. She has never really directed a game.
Yeah.
The game that she was supposed to direct got canceled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, no, she was actually directing the latest Uncharted, and she got kicked off that too. So
yeah, so no, I wouldn't put her in this category. She kind of in the last couple of years, she hasn't been given a good shot. Which it's been unfair treatment, to be honest. Hideki Kamiya. Manny, what do you say?
Hideki Kamiya, the last game. Would
he fall into this category of being one of those kind of overrated directors?
The last one he did was the what's that game, right? The Dark something or other. Whatever the hell the one you're crazy and you're in the you're going into other dimensions. What the hell was that game?
Evil Within?
Evil Within. Is that him?
No, that's Wes Mikami.
Yeah.
Kamiya is Bayonetta, right?
Beautiful Joe Bayonetta, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, like about Kamiya, he has had those like super big hits, but he's also had like hits that are like things that are really good that just never hit.
Scalebound.
I mean, he didn't. Yeah, Scalebound didn't ever hit, but I mean, like you look at he's Bayonetta, right?
Yeah, he's Bayonetta. Yeah.
Bayonetta. I mean, it did great, but it didn't do amazing. I think isn't Hideki Kamiya also Vanquish?
I believe so. Yeah. It's him.
So again, it's a really good game, but it doesn't have it. People didn't.
Ooh, Neil Druckmann, would he fall into this category? I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
He's still producing big games. We're more talking about, and I hate to use this term, more washed up guys that their glory days have been in the past. They haven't seen
Inafune.
Inafune is another one. Let's just be real.
The Ninja Gaiden guy. What's his name?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, Itagaki.
Itagaki. Yeah. Let's just be real here.
Also,
Neil Druckmann is still riding high. He's still up there, so I wouldn't put him in that category.
And Itafune, in a weird sort of way, he's never actually directed a game. He's only I think the only thing he gets the creator of Mega Man thing, which is not true. Another guy created Mega Man and he left Capcom. So he kind of just earned that. But I mean, like the only real Mega Man game that he had anything to do with, like the most to do with, was the Mega Man X series.
Yeah. What about the Milo guy? Fable and Milo.
Peter Molyneux.
Now Peter Molyneux's had a good track record, man. You know,
he's had a good track record, but I think the biggest issue with him is the fact that his mouth gets in the way. Yeah. His mouthpiece gets in the way of the actual game creation. You know,
yeah, he hasn't had one in years, so he might fit into this. You know, but I think we're getting off track anyway. So yeah, this game, it's in beta now. I mean, alpha, and you know, some people like it, some people don't. I really don't care. But yeah. There you go. If you're interested, check it out.
You know, it's. I would like to see. I mean, I guess you know somehow Blazinski wants to go back to his roots in some way. You know, like maybe going back to those kind of shooter type of games,
Unreal Tournament stuff.
Yeah, Unreal Tournament type of stuff. But I feel like he's trying to go back to gameplay and stuff. But I mean, I feel like there's a lot that needs to be done to get people to go. And I think people are going to get battle royale fatigue. We're seeing so many games now, like from independent people from all kinds of different directions doing the same sort of thing.
Yeah. It's like, do your own thing, guys. Come on. You know, anybody else want to say anything on this? Chris, thoughts?
Yeah. Well, when this bombs and he sees that, Crash Bandicoot's come back big and Spyro, maybe he'll bring back Jazz Jackrabbit just to jump on that bandwagon.
Yo, chat. Brett, what do you say, man?
Sorry, have I been on mute this whole time?
Yes.
On what point exactly?
You go take it wherever you want. To be honest, I know you have strong feelings about Cliffy B. Okay, what do you make of him trying to jump on the bandwagon of a popular trend? And also,
I mean, just that bit, like it is the sad, pathetic limpings of a has-been trying to crawl his way across, trying to drag his career on name alone. Like, dude, like, you became famous for doing something new and innovative, and now you're chasing the rabbit like everybody else. Either you break form and do something new and innovative again, or don't. But I'm really sick of these people coming in on a fresh idea and then just falling lockstep with everybody else, which is the problem with most of these one-hit wonder people that we're talking about, to be honest. And there are other people like some of the other ones, the guy who made Beautiful Joe or whatever. There are several ones where they've had a few good ideas. So you can tell generally the people who are trying new stuff, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And then there's people like motherfucking Cliffy B.
Oh, and by the way, just to get this out there, and I'm just speaking for me right now, I don't have a problem with Cliffy B. I like the guy. He's cool. But, bro, do your own thing, man. Come on, man. I know you have it in you, All right. I
mean, he needs to make a game with a gun that he can pose with.
Yeah, right. Exactly, man. Do a cool new gun, dude. All right. Moving on here. This is fucking funny, man. Do you guys remember King of Kong back in the day, man? Actually, come back in like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Remember Billy Mitchell, the asshole guy?
Yeah.
Motherfucker got exposed, son. So basically,
oh shit.
So
finally,
yeah. So basically, it was found out that the last couple of scores that he recorded were based off an emulated game, right? So they not only did they discount those, they discounted all his shit from the past 20 years because of his cheating. So now Weeby, remember him from the movie? He is now the official Donkey Kong champion.
He is now the King of Kong.
He is now the King of Kong.
That is an awesome ending.
And I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but good. Mitchell was a fucking asshole.
Dick, yeah.
He's a fucking asshole. I know some people are mad. It's like, oh, but what about the scores that he got legitimate? It's like he tarnished all that shit, bro, by fucking cheating.
Mm-hmm.
He tarnished all that shit.
Yeah, and he should. To be honest, what he should do, just prove himself. If he really wants to gain that back, that he can do that again. That he can, at least, prove that he can do it right in front of people. You should totally do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I understand.
In front of Twin Galaxies.
Yeah, in front of Twin. Yeah, get Twin Galaxies. Like they said, fuck that shit.
Yeah, don't send a fucking tape like he did in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you need to use the original arcade cabinet to actually get your high score. You can't just be using fucking emulators and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like even though I understand that emulators are almost like I saying they have standards they need to fulfill or whatever. So
yeah, you have to be able to do it on the actual arcade machine, which Weeby has done, and he's also done it in front of people too. So
yeah, remember my man has it in his garage and shit. His kids are
yeah,
watching.
they tried to accuse him of using a different board or some shit, and he did it again. He did it right in front of people. So
Yeah, no one's. By the way, it's funny because this came out. I'm guessing this is gonna come later. But like, I want to hear Steve Weeby's side of this shit now. What's going on, people? We got a lot of shout outs in the chat room tonight.
And the thing about Steve Weeby, I mean, he seemed like he's just like I think he's like a dad. He just like playing the game and just figured, oh yeah, let me just put this in and see what happens. I did this on my own. All right. So, it just seems like it's kind of stupid how much of a runaround that he's gotten from this. And I think it's also part of because Billy Mitchell was part of Twin Galaxies in some way.
Yeah, let's talk about that, man. Give us some more information about that. He was part of Twin Galaxies.
Yeah, like I think they were giving him a gimme because he literally was part of the board. So it's like, okay, yeah, he can submit a tape because he's he's part of our thing. So he wouldn't be lying, would he? No, he was.
Yeah, he just failed to mention the fact that he was playing it off an emulator.
I mean, he didn't fail to mention shit because he made a video saying, "Oh no, I don't know what an emulator is, and I've never used whatever these emulator things are."
Guy's a fucking dick, man. I'm sorry. And the guy even has that face too, you know what I'm saying? Man, yeah, again, if you've seen that movie and you see this outcome, it's fucking glorious, man.
Yeah, they literally have to edit the ending of that movie.
well, there's one thing they won't be able to take away from him, and that's his hot sauce.
Yeah, right. That's right. He's had his hot sauce.
This negated everything, even his Miss Pac-Man score, right?
Yeah, I think it's everything.
Oh shit!
Damn, son.
He did have that was what he was known for. He had the highest Miss Pac-Man score.
You king of nothing anymore, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Brett, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Fucking yes. I am super happy to see this is like the best ending ever. Like that, if you haven't all watched the documentary or the movie, it is fucking gold. It is there. I have not seen a documentary that has been a better instance of right time, right place. The shit that they catch, you're like, motherfucker, this shit has to be staged, right? But it isn't. So, to see, and like what I mean by that, I guess I have to explain a little bit further, is like in a documentary, a thing that's following somebody, rarely do you get such a dramatic storyline where you have such a clear cut, awesome protagonist and such a just douche canoe of an antagonist.
I mean, it almost seemed like it was staged. That guy was so douchey.
Yeah.
I never heard that one, a douche canoe. That's brilliant. By the way, shout out to my man Cicero. What's going on? So check this out. He said, Spawn on me. He goes, I joined your stream while he's recording his own podcast. That's beautiful, son. But anyway, the douche canoe. Go on.
Well, this dude is just the skeeviest, most dislikable, disingenuous dick trumpet that you have ever seen. Like, he is just, you cannot have a worse instance of bad. I cannot put any better than that. He is a clear-cut antagonist. He is a Disney villain. He is, and you just want for him to fail so bad. And the main guy is like, he's just a genuine, hardworking guy with a dream. Like, it's the whole thing just feels staged, but it's not. It was just one of those right place, right times, caught all the right footage kind of things. And so.
No, Brett, I just have to say, like, imagine if the roles were reversed, right? Imagine if it was Steve Weeby, right? That was the champion, right? And then years later, you find out he was cheating. You'd be fucking disappointed. It's like, damn,
you'd be so crushed.
You'd be crushed, like, damn, you let me down. But knowing that that Mitchell was the one that did it, you're like, yes, fuck that guy. You're happy as shit.
We all knew he was doing it. We just couldn't prove it. Like you're like that motherfucker is cheating.
Yeah.
He conveniently knows all of these. Like, well, he's probably doing this and this and this and this and this. Motherfucker, how do you know about all that shit?
Yeah. Oh,
So-
it's good. Schadenfreude, man. It's so good. So good. I'm glad it happened. Fuck Billy Mitchell, man.
Yeah.
I'm being real
I'll
right
stand
now.
corrected. Maybe somebody will come out and say he stole my hot sauce recipe.
Imagine that shit. Yeah. By the way, shout
Jim
out
Ross.
to
Jim
shout
Ross comes out. That's my hot sauce. I'm gonna slobber knocker him.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to the 50 people currently watching us. We haven't had that number in a
Whoa,
damn
what
long
is
time.
Where are you? Hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying our God of War or enjoyed the God of War portion. You know, here's the thing: some of the guys watching us right now are probably watching us from the past. You know what I mean? Which is kind of interesting. All right, so yeah, fuck Billy Mitchell. I'm sorry, man. I'm saying it. And this one I threw in here just for Manny. This is an interesting one. So, and I wish Adam was here for this shit. So you know how Wildlands is always introducing interesting new things and stuff, right? So this week they got Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell, and he's voiced by Michael Ironside, you know, old school. And there's a little Easter egg in there. Manny, what's this Easter egg?
Number one, it's awesome to have like Michael Ironside back again playing that role, because I think for like maybe 2 games they had him replaced by some other guy.
I know in the last game, Blacklist, he was a different guy, you know?
He was a different guy in Blacklist. So yeah, they got him back. And so there's this one point, I think it's the last cinematic of because what it is like you have a couple of different missions that you do with Sam, and you get to, you know, you hear your character talking about him and all kinds of other stuff. So then finally at the end, when you finish off the mission, you see, he sees that old, I think his old contact from one of the other games, and she's like, hey, you know, it's like, you know, it's, you know, great to see you. Looks like you've been through, seen a lot of shit. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, you know, I think he said, he's like, you know, you're like the best in your crowd or whatever. And he's like, yeah, you know, there also used to be this other guy who used to wear a bandana or something. So, and he's like, yeah. And then after that, she goes, oh yeah, him, you know, he actually retired. And he goes, really? I'm the last one? Like that. Like, oh shit. So if you think about it, like he kind of is the last one. You know, we talk about Gabriel from Siphon Filter. They haven't made a Siphon Filter game in years. And, you know, and Sam, you know, and then there's Snake. That's it. And Snake retired, essentially. If you want to go with the Metal Gear Solid 4 ending.
Yeah. So nice little nod there. Although
they give a good reaction too. It looks like he gives like this 5-mile stare, like, oh shit, like, whoa, I'm the last one.
Yeah.
I made it.
Yeah. By the way, I do need to say this, even though they did make him look old and stuff, which is appropriate, because when I heard him talk, even though Michael Ironside, great fucking actor and stuff, when I heard him talk, I'm like, damn, now I know why they got rid of him. Fuck, he sounds ancient, son. Fuck.
He's like, I'm the last one. Like he's like he's like old man gravelly now.
Yeah, like when I heard him, I felt like 50 years older as shit. You know, I'm like, damn, Darkseid got old, you know? So, but yeah, it was a nice little nod that they threw him in there and stuff. And Ubisoft, man, what the fuck? Can we get a new Splinter Cell game? Blacklist was fucking amazing. You know, I remember when I played Blacklist, I'm like, this is the new standard. This is what Metal Gear needs to top now. You know, and it did, you know, with Metal Gear Solid 5.
I don't know why they didn't put that shit right into action as soon as the Kojima shit hit the fan.
Yeah, man, it could perfect, but they didn't do it. I don't know why, man. Yeah, Fatal Mephisto goes, he is the voice of Sam Fisher. I mean,
can you imagine if they got Kojima to do it?
Oh shit! Can you imagine? Hold on, Brad, you fucked me up right now.
That would be so weird.
Hold on.
Oh, that'd be the biggest fuck you to Konami.
I can't.
I would love it. I would be like, yeah, just do it, just to the little figure.
Well, I mean, since he's working at Sony, they could easily just say, "Hey, Kojima, would you want to do a Siphon Filter game?"
Yeah, I'm not even about that. I'm not, again, let me just process it. Hideo Kojima doing a Splinter Cell game. I'm fucking done. I can't. Good night, people. I can't right now, man. You guys fucked me up. Damn. But yeah, he's not going back to that. But yeah, Ubisoft, can we get a new Splinter Cell? Come on, man. Bullshit right now, man. By the way, hold on. This is Ubisoft nowadays. Does that mean it's going to be this giant open world and fucking interconnected and all this other shit? I
mean, it would be kind of, if you think about it, it'd pretty much be Metal Gear Solid 5, right? Big open world.
Very true.
Yeah, you could take
except
Monster
Sam
Hunter
Fisher has to climb up a bunch of towers to get to open up more of the map.
You could take a Monster Hunter approach to it. You know that I'd actually like to see Monster Hunter's approach to open world gaming kind of become a little bit more mainstream or modernized not modernized, just mainstream, because it seems to work really well for people like Tony and Manny who like a clear-cut thing. So they can basically have you come back to your home base or what have you, and then drop you in the real world in your kind of little cinematic sandbox kind of thing to do your mission, and then you can explore as you want to. I could see that working really well for a tactical espionage type game.
Yeah, that's true. Each area could be a different part of the world and stuff. Like, oh, here's Russia, here's fucking United States. Yeah, here's Cuba.
They drop you off by chopper and shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, Metal Gear kind of did that too. But it was just 2 giant places instead of like 5 biggish places. It could work totally. Fatal Mephisto, I can't wait to see more for Wild. I heard it's an MMO. Is it an MMO? I don't know. Oh, Wild! I keep forgetting about that game, Wild. You know, we'll see. Who knows?
Is that the one with the giants in it?
Wild is in the same place as Deep Down right now, man. Nobody knows what the fuck that is.
Oh.
Extinction
is the one with the giants, and I heard that game is terrible.
Yeah, Mighty Nerd asked, "Do you remember Perfect Dark?" Yes, I remember Perfect Dark.
There was a Perfect Dark game recently. Not Perfect Dark. I'm thinking of Fear Effect or whatever.
Yeah, you know, the last Perfect Dark game was not good. The one on 360, man, that pissed a lot of people off.
Get the Halo guys to work on that. At least they could do another one, right?
Halo.
They could do another type of first-person shooter game, right? No.
Yeah. What are we talking about?
Could they though?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
the Halo games aren't that bad. They're just, they're not anything special.
Oh wait, are we talking about the new Halo guys?
Yeah, 343.
The new Halo guys. Yeah, like why can't? I mean, I feel like those guys they do passable Halo games.
No. I'd give it to them. I thought we were talking about Bungie for a second. I'd be like, oh no, Bungie would do all kinds of stupid shit to it.
They're not the Halo guys anymore. They're the Destiny guys now.
Yeah, the Destiny guys. Yeah.
Destiny's
a horrible realization sets in.
Talk about has-beens.
Ooh. Yeah, what happened with Destiny 2? No one's talking about that shit now.
Yeah, the 10-minute plan.
My friend is still playing the original Destiny.
Was it homeboy from the Comic-Con?
No, it's Kari, man. Yo, you come on there, you'll still see that dude on Destiny. The original Destiny.
Yeah, I gotta have a word with this man. What the fuck, Kari?
By the way,
what up?
Anthem. Better hope that the whole battle royale craze has died down.
Shit. By the way, go wherever you want right now. We got some time to kill. Let's talk about the EA Play thing, man. So this week they announced that EA Play is going to be the Saturday before E3, right? Okay. So Manny, make sure you get to Los Angeles, in time. And they're gonna be showing off Anthem and the new Battlefield. Pretty interesting.
I mean, we'll see if I can get in because I don't know how that's gonna work.
To meet to EA Play, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I couldn't get in last time.
Yeah, because I'm actually flying in a day early just so I could actually see the EA thing. And they said I got this through email. That's how I learned about it. They said they're gonna have Anthem, Battlefield, and all of our great sports games.
Oh no.
We got a good question here.
What's up, man? Yeah, go ahead, man. Even if this is not 30 questions, why the fuck not? We got time to kill.
Fatal Mephisto asked, "Did you guys share your thoughts on Inside Xbox?"
What's that?
It's that show that Major Nelson and then Jeff Rubenstein does on I don't know, monthly basis. I think.
It's that thing that he keeps posting on Twitter.
You
so-
go ahead. I never even heard of this shit. I've been too
So
busy playing God of War.
Larry Ab always reposts it on his Twitter every time they do them.
Yeah, so
Right.
they announced that they're doing Xbox original Xbox backwards compatibility.
Yeah, well, they did that at
Yeah,
E3.
they did at E3. That's not a big deal, you know.
So I guess they announced the next big batch of games. So like Elder Scrolls 3, Morrowind, Jade Empire, Battlefront,
Jade Empire. Okay.
Gears of War 2, Darksiders. These are Xbox One X enhanced games. Gears of War 2, Darksiders, Portal 2, and I don't know if this was on Inside Xbox, but I did see a Digital Foundry video where they talked about
Red Dead.
Red Dead. Yo, man, it looks so good.
It's one of those games that you literally can, it was already a damn good looking game, and it ran really well on the original. It ran pretty well on the original Xbox. So
you guys are crazy, man. By the way, for the last week, everybody's been asking us what are our thoughts on the leaked PS5 specs.
Oh, there is no. The thing is that's already been kind of debunked already.
Listen, guys, I'm just keep it real with you guys. Unless it comes from a real credible source, we don't like doing speculation on this show, man.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. I don't want to speculate on that shit. It's boring. How many podcasts? I'm just being real. How many podcasts don't you see out there that just speculate all fucking day, every day? We don't do that shit on Throwdown. You know?
Yeah.
Just being real. Yeah.
I mean, it made this goofball claim that it's going to come out in 2018 or some silliness.
Yeah, they said later this year.
That's bullshit.
That is bullshit.
That's bullshit. You know, don't get me wrong. We will like give our thoughts on like a credible rumor, but I don't like the speculation shit. Is just so boring. You know. It's Godzilla's making your PlayStation. I don't know. You can make up anything. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not trying to sound hostile. Speculation is just so stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, unless there's some serious confirmed source on this, I don't think any. I don't think.
By the way, it's just my pet peeve. You know how many podcasts I like, try to check out, and it's just like wild speculation all day, every day. I'm like, where are you guys basing it? It's either wild speculation or wishful thinking. It's frustrating, man.
I mean, I feel like you also have to like you can dream and stuff as to what might be the future, but I feel like again, once we have these sorts of real numbers and not just some hearsay from something, I feel like it's a little weird. It's a little off.
Yeah. By the way, because I know somebody's gonna jump in here and say some shit before you guys go, "Oh, Tony," but a couple of weeks ago, you guys were speculating like crazy about God of War. Yeah, because me and Manny weren't here. I'm just being honest. I would have stopped that shit. But in general, we don't. No. Especially spec shit.
It's different when you speculate on a game and what might be there because God of War has history.
Yeah.
To talk about hardware specs, especially going into like iterative generations, stupid.
Yes.
No, well, it's. I mean, there's a difference between speculation and speculation on rumors, like on non-credible rumors. Like we speculate how much God of War is going to sell.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But that's
Well,
based
we've also
on
speculated when we think the console will drop, but that's not based off rumors. That's based off of
Our knowledge
and trends and shit like that. Like,
this rumor's from some fucking magazine no one's ever even heard of.
The magazine that charges a bunch of money for you to
Oh, is that? Yeah, fuck that shit.
They have like some sort of really expensive subscription service.
Yeah. By the way, just to add to what Brett said, yes, we will speculate on something, but it has to be based on something credible. It can't be just bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so don't get me wrong. The specs are going to leak eventually, just like they leaked with the PS4 Pro. We'll talk about that when that happens, but not on some bullshit like this, man. What the fuck were we talking about?
If you listen to our past shows, you'll know when we expect that kind of stuff to happen.
That is true. What were we talking about? I don't even know anymore, man. It threw me all off track and shit. The Xbox thing was so okay. So
we're talking about how Brian was dodging this episode because we're just gonna gush about God of War.
Yeah, right. Oh, fuck that game. Did anyone here get a chance to see the reveal of the Iron Spider suit in Spider-Man PS4? Yeah, that shit looks legit. It's the Iron Spider suit from the movie.
Yeah, and there's also they also had Punk Rock Spider-Man from from the comics. So you're just gonna have all these awesome costumes.
Yeah, but
I will totally admit I am excited for Punk Rock Spider-Man.
it looks cool, man.
He's the pre-order bonus.
Yeah,
I know.
He comes. I think he comes with the statue.
that's pretty cool.
The statue looks really nice. I would go with the special edition for that one.
Mighty Nerd says Foxy Games UK. Shout out to Foxy. Talked about his sources regarding the PS5, the same sources that gave him info on PS4 Pro before it was announced. Don't know if he was telling the truth. Foxy's not a liar, but his first sources may be wrong. That's why you gotta be careful with sources. But Foxy in general, I trust. If he believes it, then that's cool. But again, on this show, we don't speculate like that.
Well, that's also maybe way more mundane than we're expecting it to be. Like, we can assume. I say this with a back me up or call me out. We could assume that they are already working on what they want the PS5 to be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They probably already have very early dev kits out to developers, right?
Yes.
No, I doubt it.
Oh no, dev kit. Oh, no, hell no. Too early for that.
You don't think they have a rough spec sheet? Not even a dev kit, just a rough spec sheet of they're giving out to people. Because here's the thing: we're far enough away from the next generation that they're starting to develop games with the next generation in mind. Like the things that are being pitched behind closed doors today are the things that will manifest in a few years on the launch of a new console. Okay, so those things that they're talking about today, they have been in touch most likely with Sony, and Sony has given them some kind of spec sheet that says roughly tailor your game to these specs. Now, what this leak that we could be hearing about could be something as mundane as that. It's not official. It's probably going to change. It is almost definitely not going to change, actually. It's not going to be the end spec sheet, but it's just probably a rough guideline for what forward-looking developers can think for when keeping multiple year games in mind.
And that would make sense. Games are developed years out, so you'd want to get them prepared, especially if they're going to do dual ports. It'd be between PS4 and PS5, a same transition thing. Then you want to prepare them years out. There's no way anyone's going to be ready to transition to PS5. Not to mention getting a fab ready and mass producing it by the end of this year. Like, that's insane.
I definitely think that that you guys are right, that there might be some sort of specs floating around, if anything, which kind of what happened with PS4 and Metal Gear Solid 4. I mean PS3 and Metal Gear Solid 4, where like Kojima was working with specs of what the possible PS3 would be, and I think that's something to essentially start with. And then once they get final engines and stuff like that, final close to final hardware, that's when they start actually solidifying things. But I do think it is quite early. I don't think they have any dev kits right now. I think it's just numbers they have.
Yeah, they don't have any dev kits, but Mark Cerny is definitely putting someone to sleep with talking about his fucking specs.
I didn't mean dev kits as like Sony sent them out. I meant specs.
Yeah, like some spec. I think there is. I think for both the new Xbox and for the PlayStation, there is something that they know what it will be around, but they don't know actual, the actual specifics.
Yeah. Again, just for the record, we're talking about this because you guys wanted us to. We normally wouldn't be even talk about this shit. It's way too fucking
even
early.
then, like, we're saying really mundane shit. Like, we know for a fact that games have multi-year development cycles. We know again, we're speculating on fact. So we know for a fact games have multi-year development cycles. We know for a fact that companies like to get, especially the big companies, a good heads up on what they're going to be doing. They don't want to just carry the entire launch on themselves because historically that doesn't work. So we can logically deduce at least. Sorry, Car. We can logically deduce at least that there's a spec sheet floating around that is the basic numbers that the next gen console should be working with.
And a lot of times those sorts of things change. Like
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely going to change. It's just here's try not to go over this because we're probably not going to make it that powerful. So I would be really surprised if this weren't somebody just finding a printout of of specs being like, oh, these are the specs for it, because the specs for a new system, like, that is almost the cart before the horse. A lot of times, like, you have a rough spec, and then they have, you know, some artist renderings of kind of what they want it to look like, and, you know, there's a weird process that this stuff goes through, and it's not necessarily just started with figuring out the exact specs. They figure out a ballpark specs, and then they figure out design, and they, you know, figure out what kind of deals they can make, and that's when they land on the exact specs, because they usually get a custom chipset built. So again, none of this would be set in stone, and any specs you would be getting at this point would just be wild conjecture, even by Sony themselves, most likely. So you could pretty much debase the rest of this shit off of what was attached in the whole, it's going to be released in 2018, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. They're gonna give you a much longer lead up. Like, even if they announce that shit tomorrow, I'd be like, oh shit, they're only giving us like 6 months notice. No, they know better, and they know that these things are costly pieces of equipment that people are gonna have to save for. They're gonna give you more than, you know, just, you know, 6 to 9 months notice. They're probably gonna tell you a full year in advance, I'd imagine. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. And the other thing is, like, why would Sony shoot themselves in the foot when PS4 is selling at like a record pace?
Well, this is why
Like,
I
they
don't
would
want to.
completely
This is
derail it.
this is why I get frustrated when people want to talk about a PS5 now. PS4 is hitting its fucking stride right now. It's fucking galloping right now. Why are we talking about the next console? Let's talk about the shit we got now, because the shit we got now is fucking badass, man. Come on, guys. You
Barely
like,
the 5th year.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, come on, man. Like, chill the fuck out. Enjoy the games that are out now. We're getting a great ton of games. We're getting God of War next week. Chill the fuck out. Let's worry about the new console. Come on, man. It's fucking bullshit, man.
I know how you personally feel about this, but historically, we always get a big rush of games the last few years of consoles out before they announce something.
Yeah,
like this.
And let's worry about it. I don't know. Brett, I know what you're saying. Like, we usually
it's coming. Yeah. You can smell it on the wind. It's coming.
I know, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, come on, guys. Let's worry about when they actually announce the shit. Then worry about it. Until then, enjoy what you got now, man. It pisses me the fuck off, you know. And it's so mundane, you know.
It is mundane, but dude, some people like murder mysteries, man. Some people like the investigation.
No, I understand.
You know,
well, that's why I just
it's a thrill of the hunt.
That's why I just kept my mouth shut for the last 10 minutes during all this shit. I'm like, come on, man, shut the fuck. God of War is coming. Don't worry about no PS5. You know, come on, guys.
God of War ain't coming. God of War is here.
You know, by the way, hold on. That, Brett, thank you. That's the other thing I wanted to talk about. We got to address the elephant in the room here, man.
Who that elephant?
And I'm sorry, I got to call you ponies out right now.
Uh-oh.
Why the fuck are you getting so excited for the day that a review embargo lifts? You're getting more excited about today than the actual day. I bet you that, you know, when this game comes out, the excitement will not be as high as today was when the reviews came out. It's so weird to me. You know, I'm like, how, like, correct me if I'm wrong. I've never seen this with a game before where people were more hyped, maybe not more hyped, but they were as hyped for the review score embargo lifting as the actual game. I've never seen that before. I've been gaming forever. Never seen that before. Very weird, and I want to know why.
I think you're going to see more excitement the day the game comes out. I think you'll be surprised, man.
I hope you're right about that, but my point stands. Why the fuck are people getting so excited like this?
Because it was a big change for the franchise, and it was one of these things.
But they're not playing the game yet. They're just reading reviews.
No. But it's one of those very few instances where you basically know either A, they're going to change things and it's going to be fucking super awesome, or B, they're going to change things and it's going to be.
No, I don't think that's it. I think these guys were on the hype train way before that, and I think they wanted emotional validation from the review scores.
Yeah.
The minute they came out, they wanted to know that they were right. You know, and that I think that's it.
And Chris, you hit it on the head. I didn't want to say it directly, but just be real here. Fanboyism. That's what's going on here. Yeah. The fanboy war has never been as heated as it is now. So this is why a game like this is getting, even though it deserves it, don't get me wrong, this is why a game like this is having the fucking review embargo date lift treated as a fucking holiday, you know? Because let's just be honest, a lot of these ponies are out there throwing in Xbox guys' faces. You know, oh, look at what we got, motherfuckers. What you got? You ain't got shit. You got Sea of Thieves, motherfucker. You ain't got nothing, man. You know, like, you're seeing that type of shit out there. And I couldn't talk about...
Some of us motherfuckers have both.
Yeah. So I couldn't come on here without addressing the ponies, man. Just being honest right now, like, guys, man.
I mean, it is ammunition, but you got to admit, man, it's good ammunition.
It's very good ammunition. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, guys, like, save that enthusiasm for the actual. Like, again, they're getting excited over reviews from other people. They haven't played the game yet. You know, it's hilarious.
I think
Chris is right, man. It's the emotional validation thing. They got
no,
it.
You're right. I mean, yeah,
Brett, you already
need a
know,
win with a little bit of grace and dignity.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, a little bit of ribbon now and again, that's fine. But look, if like God of War has always been a big thing, right? Like it's been a huge franchise that Sony has maintained control of. So it's not a surprising thing. It is kind of one of those things where, like, yeah, I threw a little shade earlier, but it's all in good fun. It is one of those things that you can throw a little shade, but you can't. At the end of the day, if you're gonna try and justify your multi-$100 purchase with a 16-hour game, you got your worldview is way too fucking small.
Yeah,
like,
and again,
you got.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna like, listen, if you're genuinely excited for the game, that's fine. That's good. But am I wrong in thinking that it's just a little bit weird to get as excited for the dropping of the review score as it is for the game? I just find that odd, you know?
Yeah. If you love God of War, what do you care what someone else thinks about it? You wait and play it, and then you'll see if it's good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, well,
No, I disagree with you guys. I think
Carlos has become the new Brett tonight.
I don't know if I take offense to that.
I mean, especially like when you're hyped about a game, like you kind of want something to continue that momentum till it comes out. So you need to find something else that'll sort of serve that same purpose. And if the best you can get is like reviews that will like IGN, GameSpot, all those outlets like drop videos talking about the game.
Oh,
so
hold on.
Some people,
yeah. No, go ahead, Carlos. Because Stubby Stan, you said some. Oh, Stubby, we're gonna get you, son. Anyway, go ahead.
you do have the fanboys that want to feel validated, but you do have I think, in my opinion, most of the fans that just want to see people talk about the game. It's like it's a conversation. It's a one-sided conversation, of course, but it's a conversation nonetheless that they're not having, and it's something that carries them on until the game comes out.
Yeah, but that's like that's still emotional validation. I mean, I call me old, but back when I used to flip open the Sears catalog and go, shit, that box art looks hot. I can't wait for that game. But I didn't need to talk to anybody.
Emotional validation is, I mean, just if something makes
I didn't
you
wait
feel
for
better.
Nintendo Power to tell me that the game was good or whatever. I just fucking was excited. I went out and bought it, and if it was shit, I went right back to Toys R Us and brought it back.
Well, I mean, it just really depends on what, I mean, emotional validation means. It's like we're doing an episode mostly based on God of War. Are we getting emotionally validated, or are we emotionally validating our audience?
That's a good point there. That's a great question. Because we are doing this because that's what the people want, you know, and it is the biggest thing. Yeah,
but Tony played and reviewed the game, right? So he's disseminating information. He's like, this is my experience without spoiling it, whatever, and we're having a discussion based on his experience, right, and what we think, right, as gamers. So we're disseminating information. We're not sitting here, like he said, we're not sitting here speculating on anything, making up stuff, wish casting. We're not doing any of that, because that would mean we need emotional validation for the game to be good. If we were doing that, then I would agree with you, but we're not doing that.
Well, yeah, like I agree to an extent. Like there's definitely the group of people that are just waiting on April the 12th to see if the game got good review scores or not. Like, and
there were dudes waiting until 3 a.m. son. I'm like, why? It makes no sense.
Well, so you know? there's definitely that group of people that just like you said, they want to feel validated with those review scores.
Yeah.
But there's also the people that want to be part of the discussion.
Oh yeah, and then there's people who are just genuinely excited. You know, they're not just
I'm not saying 100% of them are like that. Yeah, but there's quite a number. I mean, remember when Zelda came out and had a high score, and I think Jim Sterling's or another one dropped it. What happened? They attacked him. They
Yep.
flipped out. It's like their world was crushed that Zelda went from a 95 to a 94, and they flipped the fuck out.
Yeah. By the way,
That's
Jim
the guys I worry
Sterling. By the way, Jim Sterling did not review this game. I'm guessing Sony didn't send him a fucking copy.
Oh shit.
You know. And he was talking mad shit even before that. You know. So they probably just said, "Fuck this guy." You know. Let me read some of these comments. They're pretty interesting. By the way, shout out to Michael and Reggie, who really liked my review of the game. You know me, man. I keep it real, son. You know. By the way, Bad Ombre says, "Are we damage controlling God of War?" Okay.
Damage controlling what? What damage has it done? The game's not even fucking out.
Yeah. Great comeback. And Nate said,
also, you want to see damage? Go read Metacritic. You don't even have to believe us.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
can I take a second to throw something out there that I think needs pointed out in an instance like this? Like, the hype train isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like,
No, it's not.
especially like to an optimist. Like, I've long been a believer that, look, there's two ways you can view the world. You can wait for the next tragedy to hit, which is inevitably going to happen, and then even when good shit happens, you're still dreading the next bad thing that happens. Or you can be ignorant and happy and just be like, something good's going to happen as fucking fire rains down on you, and you don't notice the fire because something good is going to happen. Like, look, man, if you're going to be looking forward to something, look forward to something good. So you can ride the hype train. I've done it myself, man. And one of the biggest things I tell people is, you know, what is the best part? What's the best part of Christmas? It's a few weeks leading up until Christmas, man. Christmas Day, Christmas morning, man. That shit when you were a kid, that passes so fast. But those few weeks leading up to it, man, when you were riding that Christmas hype train, those were good times. You can do that with a game, and that's not a bad thing. Just make sure not to turn that towards hate when dealing with other people. Try not to turn into ammunition against other people and into validating your life choices or what the fuck ever it is. But if you're just genuinely excited for it, don't let the haters fool you. Keep being happy about it.
That's a great way of putting it. It's like Christmas. This is like a mini holiday, you know. Let me see here. Oh, by the way, we got to address what Cicero said. My man Cicero, he says that, actually, let me read his shit directly because I don't know. I don't think he was here when Chris gave his prediction. Okay. This is what he says. He goes, here's something to think about. Sony's platform is outselling the Xbox 2-1, and their first parties are objectively better. But God of War still won't sell as well as a new Halo. How much did Halo 5 sell? Because I don't remember that game doing that well.
Yo, Cicero, you said?
Yeah, Cicero.
Yeah.
Yo, Cicero, are you a betting man?
Ooh, see? What's up?
Yo, we can make a bet right now.
Yo, we got 2 C's right there. Cicero and Carlos, man. All right. Okay, by the way, how much did Halo 5 sell? Wasn't it just 5-6 million or something? Halo 5 was one of the worst selling Halo games.
Yeah,
keep that in mind.
God of War is gonna outsell Halo 5.
Yeah,
it's
easily,
not even gonna be close.
Easily gonna outsell Halo 5. It's gonna lap it. You know, come on, son.
Maybe you're living like because when I think of Halo, I think huge, biggest franchise, and that's not the case.
Yeah, it sold 4.86 million lifetime. I mean, it sold 1.5 million under ODST, which remember people complained about. It's the
all right, that's it.
The only thing that sold lower was the Master Chief Collection, which was just an HD collection, so I wouldn't count that. I mean, compared to what like Halo Reach, which sold 10 million, or Halo 3 sold 12 million. You know.
Yeah, that's in the glory days. That's when Halo was at the top of its game. That's before Call of Duty took the mantle.
Let's just be honest. Like as soon as the new guys took over, there has been a genuine, there has been the Halo games, not the quality of them, but the interest in them has declined.
Yeah. All right, shit's about to get real right now. Keep vamping, man. This shit's about to get real right now.
Oh man, it was real up in the field.
I mean,
yo, Stubby Stan, man.
Uh-oh.
Check your Twitter DM, bro.
Uh-oh.
Shit's about to get real right now, son.
Oh, shit. It's a throwdown.
It's a throwdown, man. We haven't had C on in a while, too. Anyway, keep going. Yep. Woo, this shit is getting kind of hectic.
Uh-oh. Are we getting ready for the throwdown?
Yeah, man. We may get a little bit of Brucago tonight, boy.
Oh.
But yeah, let me address some more shit that I saw in here. Yeah, and Nate, yeah, I mean, okay, he says that just because you're hyped for a game isn't, you're not just looking for emotional validation. That is true, but some are.
True.
Some are. We're not saying all of them. That's the thing, guys. You can't just, everything's not 100% or 0%. There's, you know, come on.
There are 50 shades of gray.
I think I'm in the same boat. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think there may be a significant portion, but I think the majority, there may be a significant portion that are using this as ammunition or you know, toxically or what the fuck ever you would want to say. But I think a majority are just generally hyped for it.
Yo, hold up, man. We got to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Cicero Holmes, Stubby Stan. What is going on, my brother?
What is happening? What's Happy New Year, Throwdown crew.
Happy New Year, man.
Manny, I feel like I just saw you.
Yeah, I know. About that.
Right. Hold up, man. A couple of things, man. First, I want to congratulate you guys on the big, like you guys blew the fuck up on Twitch. It was amazing. You know?
Man, thanks, man.
That shit is crazy, bro. So mad respect to you. You know, everybody over there, Tanya, my man, Khalif, Sharif, all you guys, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll all get to rub elbows and clink some glasses in LA in June. So
you already know, man.
That is gonna be cool because it's been a while since.
Yes.
Okay,
by the way, 2016.
Yeah, man. Yeah. By the way, just so in case you people don't know, this man right here was like my main drinking buddy.
Yes,
E3,
sir.
Man. Like every night we was like these guys like, oh yeah,
we kicked it hard.
We did when we went deep. I remember one time, like, you know, Chris and Manny went to go like, yeah, we're gonna go back to. I was like, I'm gonna hang out with C. Fuck that.
Right. Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, man. So yeah, again, wanna welcome you to Throwdown again. It's been a while, so I'm glad you popped on. And like, we always told you it's like you have the door's always open to you, and this is a perfect fucking example of this shit. So yeah, what is this, man? We're gonna do a bet tonight, man.
So like I said, I'm willing to buy a video game for somebody, for Carlos. Carlos, if you want to put it out there, I'm willing to buy a game of your choice after all the dust is settled.
Yeah. What's the bet?
So the bet is will God of War outsell the tentpole Xbox game. So I guess the tentpole Xbox first party game would be Halo right now. So I mean, listen, it's set up for you to win, right? So with the install base is almost double on the PS4 to Xbox. The early reviews are beyond superb. And the track record for Halo is it's trending downward as you guys had already said. Yeah. So I mean, I think it's definitely stilted towards you winning, Carlos. But there's just been a thing about Sony first parties. The games are phenomenal. Like I said, they're objectively better. But there is something about the way that Microsoft is able to market their games, and specifically shooters. A game like Halo is marketed in such a way that it attracts a broader audience. And so when you look at the percentage of the install base and percentage of owners who have that game in their library, that percentage is going to be much greater on the Xbox side for Halo than I believe God of War will be on the Sony side. But that's not even the bet that I'm making. I think if I made that, if we made that bet, I would win no problem. But I'm saying sheer numbers. Boom.
All right. Now here's the thing. From what I've seen, Halo 5 has sold about 5 million. Let's say 6 million, right? Let's round it
Sure.
up. So you honestly don't think the new God of War is going to sell that? Because how many did Horizon sell? I mean, Uncharted sold like what, 10 million?
No.
Uncharted did 10 million lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying. I'm saying that not Halo 5. I think I'll sell Halo 5 because Halo 5. People were excited about it, but then as soon as the reviews came out, and that story was trash. But Halo 5's multiplayer is amazing.
Yeah.
But because that story was trash, it kept a lot of people away. But I think that Halo 6.
Oh, okay.
That Halo 6.
Okay.
Right. That Halo 6 will outsell God of War. But here's the thing. That'll take a little while, right?
Yeah.
That'll take a little while. I'll say this. We can play a different game, right? We'll have what do they call those prop bets? We'll have a prop bet.
I was about to say you're acting like Jigsaw, and I was like, you want to play a game?
Yeah, exactly. So we can play a game. So we can have a prop bet where I will say that it will sell that God of War will sell only 66% better than Crackdown will.
Only 66% better than Crackdown. Okay.
Right. So for every 3 copies of God of War that are sold, there will have to have been at least 2 copies of Crackdown sold.
So I don't know if I can take that bet, and it's not because I'm confident those numbers won't be what they are, but Microsoft messes around with Game Pass now,
right?
And they're not really like Sea of Thieves. We don't know how much that sold, for example.
Right. Yeah. So, and that's a fair point, and that's actually another fair point. It's another reason that I'm really confident about Halo is that you know with Game Pass, because we're talking about first party games, the download numbers aren't necessarily reflective of sales,
right?
Yeah.
Right. Because of the subscription the subscription model that they're using now, which I think is brilliant. I don't know if you guys talked about that, but I think it's absolutely brilliant. So I mean that's fair or not. How about fuck it? How about we do this? If by holiday 2018, God of War sells 10 million copies, Carlos, the game of your choice is on me. Now, no fucking collector's editions. You know,
not buying banky shit.
I'm not doing any of that crazy shit. I will purchase a.
Oh no! Yeah, you cut out there for a little bit. See, say that again.
Oh, I said I will purchase the standard version of the game of your choice for $60.
10
million copies by holiday 2018.
Oh man!
Yeah. By the way, just so you know, Chris earlier today predicted, earlier during the show, predicted 8 million by E3, son, by the end of E3.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I like this bet. By the way, while you were talking, I was thinking this in my head, and then they started saying in the chat, so I'm going to tell you now. Yo, see, your mic sounds so fucking clean, son. God damn.
Man, you are sounding clean.
Well, thank you. Maybe that's why we're partnered on Twitch.
Oh man, I think I gotta turn my gain on.
I just heard a mic drop, man.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, it's just funny because again, you're saying it. I'm listening to what you're saying, but I was like, yo, damn, that motherfucker sounds clean, son. And then they started saying that, I'm like, I gotta let C know, son.
Right. Good looks.
By the way, everybody in the chat, please go check out Spawn on Me. Great fucking podcast, please,
Thank you
man.
very much.
Check them out.
Thank you very much.
They're very interesting, man. Now here's my question though, because I'm gonna be real. Both you guys have fucking money, right? It's being real, right? You really don't need each other to buy each other games. How about this? I think this will be more interesting.
Right.
If let's say Carlos wins, right? You
Mhm.
would have to buy a game for one of our fans, right?
Done.
And
Done.
vice versa. You know what
Done.
I'm saying? Make it more interesting.
Done. All right.
Why would
Done.
you want a me fan? Okay.
Done.
Yeah.
So
Right on.
the only crux, 10 million to me sounds steep for God
Yeah?
of War. Like
Really?
10 million by the end of the holiday 2018. Yeah, that's
What's the install base on the PS4? Isn't it like 40 million?
No.
40, 50,
It's
60 million? What is
I
it
think
now?
it's like 72 million.
Yeah, it's like
72 million.
Yeah,
So
man.
I mean, so 10 million, that's, I don't know percentages that well, but you're talking 1 out of every 7 console owners has to have it.
Yeah, that attach rate is pretty high. But I mean,
I don't think 10 million is a bad number, to be honest, man. I could actually see that happen by the end of this year.
I mean,
Chris predicted 8 million
Yeah,
by
that's
3.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because when Uncharted 4 launched, by the end of 2016, there was only approximately 53 million PlayStations
Right.
install base in the world, and it almost hit 9 million. It was 8.7 million by the end of 2016 and launched in March.
Right.
So I think with a 70 plus million install base this year, with what I arguably say might be a better narrative story, this will definitely, Carlos should take that bet.
Yeah, it's a day one purchase for me. And hell, I'm gonna probably upgrade to a PS4 Pro. I'm probably gonna wind up getting the bundle.
There you go. There you go. Good
See,
stuff.
told you.
all right.
So
How about we? So I was gonna say 8 million, but how about we meet halfway? 9 million
9 million
at the end of 2018.
There we go. At the end of 2018.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be a hard one, but
Yeah, because it's got to be close. It's got to be close.
yeah, who cares? I'll take it.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, whatever the case may be, I look, I love Throwdown. I love your fans. They're passionate. So if it costs me $60 to make somebody's life happier in the Throwdown show family, I'm down with that. I'm down for that.
That's what's up.
All right, I'm stretching my hand out right now.
Yeah,
No,
right.
well,
Right.
I
Digital
think you should- I
handshake,
think- Yeah,
Right, exactly. Yes, fist bump.
All right.
You should do weird stipulations on it though, because everyone's gonna ask part for Red Dead, right? So you should be like, Carlos will buy someone Nintendo Labo and buy I don't know.
Bugging, son.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, that's gonna outsell God of War next week, man. Ain't nobody gonna be telling the God of War. Motherfucking Labo, son. Let's get them cardboards, man.
Man, oh my gosh. So we talked about Labo when they made the announcement. And I made a point that no one really thought about, which I thought was obvious, which is how many uses are you going to get out of that? And because it's cardboard, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking cardboard. So like everybody knows what happens to cardboard after you put it down somewhere, or you step on it, or you better not have any fucking pets because it's cardboard.
And it's gotta be trying to get in the Labo.
Right, exactly. And, and you better not have any toddlers. I mean that stuff, like it's really innovative and it's really cool, and it's gonna be so much fun if you've got younger kids or nieces and nephews, or even you got a spouse or a partner that you want to get interested in games. It's gonna be so much fun doing those DIY projects together, and playing with it for the first time. But all the subsequent times, I mean, that stuff's not going to hold together.
But really, should it really cost like $80 for like for
cardboard?
For
cardboard. Cardboard. Well, I mean, look, Nintendo's should it cost $80 for fucking Joy-Cons?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, everything that they have,
before. Yeah,
everything they have is outrageously priced from Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's all I'll say is it's apropos that is releasing on 420.
Yeah,
that's
that's some true shit.
That's all I'm saying.
Man, that's crazy. All right. So yeah, like you know, this is like the perfect way to end the show, man. So I'm glad you came out. So see, please, you know, again, thank you for jumping on the last minute.
Oh, it really was my pleasure, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. So please, plug your stuff, man. Where can people find you?
Hey, check out Spawn on Me. We are live every Thursday on Twitch at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. So right around the same time that the Throwdown show is on.
We fighting.
If you're too busy watching Throwdown show and you can't tune into Twitch to check us out, you can always listen to us on Tuesdays on your favorite podcatcher. At Spawn on Me on Twitter. I am at Stubby Stan on Twitter. If you want to listen to something else that I'm doing, I also am the co-host of a Star Trek Discovery recap podcast called Discovery Debrief. So check us out at DSC Debrief on Twitter. And there's a lot of stuff there. So if you guys are interested in Star Trek Discovery and haven't had a recap show or want to listen to a new one, check us out. And we're still doing stuff throughout the course of the year. So you know, keep your feeds tuned into the station. So yeah, that's it. And you know, you might see me on the street corner busting a move with my labos.
You know,
making $3 or $4 to buy some more labos. So you know, catch me there too.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on the lookout for that now. Not just you specifically. Like I'm gonna be in the subway and shit, seeing if people using cardboard with breakdancing and stuff.
Right,
that'd be crazy.
I might have to check out your Star Trek podcast.
Please
I might
do,
have some
Chris.
things to say.
Yeah, please let me know what you have to say.
yeah. Chris has very strong feelings on that show, but we'll talk about that off air.
Right.
All right, man. So let's start wrapping this up. So thank you for watching and listening. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Mixer, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco and Taj joined by Emilio Lopez.
I'll see you later, guys. And I would like to thank everybody who decided to show up at my table at C2E2. It was wonderful seeing you guys. I got to hang out when you talk Metal Gear and all kinds of really great stuff. Hopefully, I'll see you again. Later, guys.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Yo, thanks everyone that participated in the contest. God of War. Sergio, we'll get you your game, man.
All right. Brett Murdoch.
It's some real party people.
And my man Cicero Holmes.
Yo, Bricago is always in the house. It's always the place to be. Peace.
All right. Later, people.
Later, guys.
Leaders.
Deuces.